The internet is without a doubt one of the best inventions mankind has ever made, and while it allows us to do many things more easily, it also opens windows to things most people would never see otherwise. While usually you just wait for viral videos of crazy and unusual occurrences to blow up to get access to them, you're lucky enough to have stumbled onto this video, where I've gathered some of the most surprising things that you simply won't ever see anywhere else. Ready to see some things your brain won't let you ever forget? Let's get it on! Gold Bar Challenge. Here's something that might seem like the easiest money you can make in your entire life. Boxes like these containing 12 kilo bars of gold can be found all over the world, and anyone who can pick up the bar worth several $1,000s is free to keep it. In fact, there's even a hole in the box so you can stick your hand in and just grab the thing. Of course, if it were all that easy, you wouldn't exactly see these all that often, now would you? That's because this task is practically impossible. For one, gold doesn't create enough friction with fingers to provide grip, but even if you can somehow overcome that law of physics, the weight of the bar makes it nearly impossible to keep hold of with just one hand, and the hole makes it so that you can't use extra leverage from your arm. Still, some lucky few manage to get a grip and begin pulling their arm out of the box, but when their fingers reach the end, the final obstacle of the box rears its ugly head. The hole simply isn't big enough for most hands holding a bar of gold to fit through. While you'd think this would leave people feeling cheated, it doesn't cost anything to try your luck, and some extremely lucky people even managed to pull out the gold bar after numerous tries. Duck Army. It's pretty common to see people walking their pets, but this farmer in Taizhou, China took that to a whole new level. Passers-by and drivers were shocked and took to recording this truly surreal happening on their phones as the farmer casually walked his army of 5,000 ducks across the highway. Just another day at the office for him. But for everyone else, this invasion of ducks was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that left them in shock and awe. Taizhou is a city of millions, so this would be like taking 5,000 ducks across an expressway in New York or London, and that definitely wouldn't be an easy task to accomplish. According to the farmer, the ducks need their exercise and take this path to get to their favorite watering hole every now and then. As amazing as the sight may be, what's even more insane is that he didn't lose a single duck in this unusual and highly dangerous version of Why Did the Duck Cross the Road? Samurai Hairstylist. While getting a haircut could sometimes be a boring task for some people, if their stylist put on a wild blade display like this, maybe people wouldn't put off their haircuts for so long. And if you're lucky enough to be a client of Alberto Olmedo, known as the Samurai Stylist, haircuts just can't come soon enough. This Spanish barber uses techniques that some might call unorthodox, or maybe just straight up insane. Alberto doesn't use shears and scissors like most barbers. Instead, he takes getting a little off the top to the extreme by using samurai swords to hack away at dead ends like they're an enemy samurai in a Japanese war. The finely honed blades get a way closer cut than any scissors could ever get. But if that's not crazy enough already, this madman has another trick up his sleeve: fire. He actually sets his clients' heads on fire to get rid of dead ends, resulting in some truly spectacular displays as people try to stay calm while their heads are engulfed in flames. Clearly, his clients have already lost their minds because they don't seem to be afraid of losing their heads. Fake City of Paris. Looking at this world-famous monument, anyone could tell you what city you're looking at. Yep, that's right, it's Tianjin. Oh, did you think it was Paris? Well, I can't really blame you for that, as this city in China was custom-built to look exactly like the center of the French capital, complete with Haussmann buildings, cobblestone streets, and of course, the trademark 350-foot Eiffel Tower. Walking through these streets, you'd almost believe you were really in Europe, except for one small problem. The ambitious building project was put too far out into rural land and wasn't able to have the infrastructure to support a population, so sadly this super cool multi-million-dollar development has become a ghost town. The area has started to fall into disrepair, and it leads to some seriously eerie videos of what an abandoned post-apocalyptic Paris would look like. I guess everything really is made in China. Real-life Robocop. Pretty much every depiction of the future in media for the past 100 years has involved robots, and a lot of us have started to wonder, just how far into the future do we have to go before we get robot butlers? Well, if you head to the bustling and hyper-futuristic city of Dubai, that dream can already be a reality. There you might come across Titan, one of the most advanced robots the world has ever seen. Designed as an entertainment robot, people have already found alternative uses for an 8-foot-tall, 2-ton hulking sidekick that walks around beside you and can talk, mainly being a bodyguard and assisting in police work around the city. After all, who would want to mess with anybody when they've got a real-life Robocop by their side? Carrying a barn. Buildings are things that we think of as static fixtures, being built and staying in that same spot until they fall apart or are demolished. However, we might need to come up with a new definition after looking at the logic-defying feat these Amish men performed when they moved this barn. It took about 250 grown men to accomplish this, but if it weren't captured on video, nobody'd believe that they just picked up a 150-foot building and moved it somewhere else by hand. Either way, I guess it's a lot easier and cheaper than having to build a whole nother barn. Supreme bodyguards. World leaders need to stay safe when they're out and about addressing the public, and that usually means entire entourages of bodyguards, police escorts, and the whole cavalry, really. And when you're the supreme leader of one of the most secretive nations on Earth, well, you're gonna take those regular security measures to a whole new level. While other people in need of security might have other cars, Kim Jong-un has an entourage of bodyguards who just run alongside his limo. What makes this bizarre marathon even weirder is that all the bodyguards must be the same exact height as the supreme leader and are the most elite members of his total bodyguard squad, which numbers over 100,000. I just don't think anyone's told him that it doesn't quite work to have other people work out for you. Drone base jump. Base jumping is a very dangerous and nerve-wracking extreme sport that's only ever attempted by the bravest of our species. And while the sport is terrifying enough already, one Latvian drone company thought that they could somehow make it even more insane. Usually to base jump, you need a base to jump from, but this company created a drone capable of lifting up to 220 pounds, or just over the weight of a healthy human crazy enough to volunteer to take a test drive. The drone was used to carry a base jumper up from an already dizzyingly high tower to a staggering height of 1,000 feet, from which he performed the world's first drone-assisted base jump, or should I say drone jump. While this is definitely going to take off in the world of extreme sports before we know it, I can guarantee that this is the first time you've ever seen something this futuristic and primally fear-inducing at the same time. Dinosaur Factory. If you thought dinosaurs were extinct, then the Australian company Creature Technology would like to have a word with you. This brilliant company brings the ancient rulers of the Earth into our world by making some of the best animatronic models in the world. It's one thing to see a T-Rex fossil, but how about a moving, breathing T-Rex that roars just like the real thing? Yikes! Might be a bit too terrifying for the faint of heart. These extraordinary giants tower over people, actually walking and moving around. Their dinosaurs have been used for movies like Jurassic World and populate theme parks across the globe, providing the thrill of a lifetime to kids and adults alike. But their expertise doesn't stop at the prehistoric. They also construct real fire-breathing dragons, something you literally can't see anywhere else, except maybe a movie screen. Just don't get too close. You might get scorched. 3 million dots. Miguel Endara is an amazingly talented artist who has a very unique style, which makes his already incredible art all the more impressive. Miguel creates photorealistic works of art using nothing but dots. You heard right. As you can see in this mind-blowing video of Miguel's tireless process, he uses a special pen to tap dots onto the canvas one at a time. And through sheer genius and a superhuman understanding of where to place every individual dot and how hard to press the pen, he's able to generate works of art that are indistinguishable from a black and white photo at first glance. Look closer though, and you'll see the insane precision with which he places his pen strokes, with this small portrait of his father alone containing more than 3.2 million dots. I just hope that any art critics who see it don't have a hard time getting the point. Cheese to die for. Typically, we all do our best to never eat something that could kill us on purpose, and while that seems obvious, there are some adventurous cheese lovers who undergo huge risks to try a cheese that is truly to die for. Casu Marzu, a very unique Sardinian cheese, was named the deadliest cheese in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records in 2009, and while eating it could potentially put your life at risk, just hearing how it's made is more than enough to make you sick. The secret to the cheese's irresistible taste is that it's rotten. And not just rotten, but filled with maggots. The cheese is left in the open for flies to lay eggs in it, and then the larvae live in the cheese, eating it and excreting the final product. As you can imagine, this breaks pretty much every health regulation on the book and then some, so the cheese was illegalized in 2005, but still, people with what must be iron stomachs travel from around the world for a chance to get it through the Italian black market. I mean, I guess it's great if people are willing to risk going to prison or even dying for just a taste. Think you're brave enough to take a bite? Psst, hey, you still there? Well, since you made it this far, here are all the shoutouts we promised everyone that commented on our previous video. If you want to be shouted out in our next upcoming video as well as the ones prior, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment down below saying, "Pick me." Once you're at it, you might as well leave a like too.